Hey guys, and welcome back to another podcast for computer security. Today's topic is sensitive data exposure. But before we get into it, I would like you to meet the team. We have Dennis, James, myself, and Owen, and today we will be telling you what sensitive data exposure is, ways of attack, ways to prevent, and real world examples that have taken place and is still unfortunately taking place today. So, sensitive data exposure happens when a web application fails to protect a user's sensitive information. The data can vary from usernames to private health data, security numbers, and many more pieces of sensitive information. A few examples would be exposed data that someone may have mistakenly uploaded somewhere. A weak crypto, meaning an attacker would be able to read the data if they successfully compromise the target, and the lack of headers that prevent browser caching. So when building a web application, many developers tend to downplay the importance of protecting sensitive data. A working web application is more of a top priority for developers. The protecting of the information is then forgotten about or simply skipped. Sensitive data exposure is therefore a typical vulnerability that is worse for small players like hobby projects, smaller companies, college work. However, as can be seen by looking at some well-known events, big players are affected by these vulnerabilities, but not as often due to their high security and private networks. I'll then pass you on to James, who will be talking about ways of attack.
Thank you very much, Melanie. So today I am here to tell you about all the ways an attacker can gain access to your sensitive data. So let's take an example scenario. You have a web application and you have many database tables and pages storing all sorts of information. The client then wants to buy something from your online store, so you have the client's credit card details stored for convenience's purpose, so that they'll be able to one-click purchase any items on your store. So the attacker, for obvious reasons, would want to gain access to all this sensitive data, especially the more sensitive information like credit card details. So your web application has many pages consisting of different levels of security needs. For example, your About Us page might only use a HTTP protocol, while your checkout page will be using something stronger like a TLS system. Even with the pages that use the TLS protocol, they might in fact be using weak ciphers. Now, what exactly is a cipher? In simple terms, a cipher is an algorithm that turns plain text into unreadable outputs to protect the data because it is very sensitive. The attacker can use third-party or custom-made tools to work around the weak cipher and gain access to the sensitive information. So another way an attacker can gain access to your sensitive data is what is known by a Trojan attack. In simple terms, a Trojan attack is one where the attacker's application appears to be something else, like maybe a useful application, but underneath the base app there is malicious code inserted to gain access or to harm the recipient's computer. Trojan attacks are some of the most dangerous attacks out there in terms of damage it can be done to the recipient.